I knew that this vision would pay off eventually if I just got momentum. It's like I was when I was making $10 at the dorm room for 3 hours of work. If I could keep that same mindset of having momentum, bring it to California, and know that I can actually get to the vision eventually. All these small things are just hurdles. They're nothing. If I just trust the process and believe in myself 1,000%, what can stop me?
Low taper with the sideburns and you're keeping the curls on the top. A great way to start a haircut is combing through it, and that's because you want to be in tune to the weight and the darkness. So keep in mind that a low taper is really about darkness on the top but still keeping that clean blend, and being able to execute that is what's going to get you. So make sure that you pay attention to the steps that we go through in this video. Right here I have the number 2 guard open, and I want to make sure I don't go into those curls on the top. I really just want to use like a C-cup motion as I'm fading, and I'm kind of blending out at the very top. And today is New Year's Day. Last night was wild. I just had to wake up and get this video to you guys as soon as possible. Right here we close the lever on the number 2 guard, and we're actually going to wrap this thing all the way around. So I'm using a technique from Zay the Barber, and you guys are getting my own spin on this technique. It's very important to try new techniques as often as possible. I suggest at least once a month that you try it, because you never want to get too comfortable or feel like there's no room for improvement. Here we have the Andis T outliner trimmer, and we're going to make that first guideline, keeping it kind of low, because remember this is a low taper, but yet we still want that very clean, tight transition. So don't be scared to bring it up a little bit higher right below those ears, and you'll be fine. Make sure you follow these steps. We're going to go very slow, and I'm going to be extremely detailed in this tutorial for you guys. This is a game changer, you know. Right here we went with the Braun Series 9, balded them out, real easy. Those things are amazing trimmers, or amazing shavers. Now we have the Andis Fade Master with that nice thin fade blade going open, halfway, closed. If you guys are just familiar to the channel, open, halfway, closed is how we get the job done with the fades. And I love to go through the motions with those, that same exact process with each trimmer, each clipper. Open, now we went halfway, and we have the Andis Fade Masters doing the exact same process as we will with the Andis Masters. As you see here, we have the Andis Masters, lever open. We're gonna go through those same motions, open, halfway, closed. So just keep in mind the importance of detailing, really combing through your haircuts, and just prepping, and the concept of removing weight. So when I say removing weight, we're literally just going from a gradual transition from darkness on top to the lightness on the bottom. So notice how we took down all that weight at the beginning, number 2 guard, and now we're getting it out the mud. We're doing that nice transition at the bottom, building the foundation as you call it. And then we're going to do the exact same steps with the Andis Fade Master to an Andis Master. Then we throw in the guards. So you'll notice we have the Andis 1 guard. And guys, when you get to the guards, it's a less importance on the whole open, halfway, closed concept. Now you can really go from open to closed. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the side. So you notice I have an Andis Master 0 guard with the lever open. And one thing I'll tell you guys is the Andis guards are much different than wall. So you definitely need to make your own adjustments. As a barber, I'm going to give you guys all these steps, you know, and then you're going to have to, depending on what clippers you're using, really mastering your craft comes down to any haircut, any tool, any trimmer, any brand. Mastering not only the haircuts, the products, the service, your business, you know, managing your business, all those things come into play. And with it being a new year, I just feel so motivated to master them all, you know. When you're going to pick your goals for the year, think of 3 things. Right now, if you guys have a piece of paper and a pencil next to you, I challenge you, the 1% of people that'll probably do this, write down the first 3 goals that come to your mind right now. For me, I know one of them is mastering my haircuts. You don't have to tell anybody, you know, but just having a written goal is so important. They say that a person with written goals is so much more likely to be successful. So I don't want to talk through this whole thing. I don't know what's going on a rant right there. Make sure that you line it up over the ears nice and crispy, and then go back and do polishing and really just like cleanup work. That's so important. It's going to bring you to the next level. You can see where the taper is getting blurry. So before we move on to the taper on the sides, I like to line them up. These are the Wall Retro cordless trimmers. These things are fire as long as you get them hitting right. Right here I did a client consultation and I pointed at a sideburn. I said, hey bro, is it still true you want to keep these sideburns? And as you can see, we did. So I lined them up nice and sharp, and then I clean them up around the ear and start the taper. And here's my bold statement to start out 2019. The lineup is the most important part of the haircut. So a lot of people are like, Joel, what do you mean, a lineup? Really? Well, think about it. Would you rather have a messed up back taper, side taper, or a messed up lineup? I'm talking crooked, that thing is uneven, right? We're all gonna pick the lineup. I need my lineup to be fresh. This is the first thing somebody's noticing when they look at me. When I went to the club last night for New Year's Eve, I didn't care about the back taper. I don't even have my haircut all the way fully done because my dreads cover it. This is Jay Fade to bring you guys this tutorial, by the way. And I just wanted to say Happy New Year's to everybody starting their year out. But man, it's so true. Like, spending time on the lineup is key. If you want to have a sharp line that meets the taper, really keep this low taper, keep the sideburns in there, lining it up first is really what allows me to execute on this whole haircut. And you guys will see the results if you just really follow these steps, you know. Adopt the techniques and your cuts will come out so clean. So you see what I did there? I had the #1 guard and then I went with no guard and laid those hairs down. I spray it with some spritz and then I begin to line it up. And then I'll go back, finish the tapers, and then do any touch-up work. We're even gonna do the straight razor, and I'm gonna show you guys how I use the compressor with the semi-permanent dye. So right here, I'm back to my wall trimmers, and these are my retros, the cordless. I love these right here. If you can get them to hit, they're wonderful.
I just like the sound of it.
And to those of you that wrote down your goals, go ahead and share one of them with you. You know, it's important to inspire other people. So if they can see your comment on what you're focused on, you could really influence them to get their goals going. You know, let's go ahead and do this journey together, you guys. I'm trying to share it with all the real ones that are here first watching these videos. Really appreciate you guys. All the momentum we got this year, just like we talked about in that intro, momentum is key. You know, if you can just focus on the small goals at first and then really start to 10x them and think bigger, act quicker, you know, and just day by day, you're getting better every trip. You're failing, but you're learning and you're moving forward. You know, failing forward is what they call it. So right here, I balded them out with the T outliner trimmer. And then what I'm doing here is making sure I keep the darkness on top. So I'm actually gonna fade down. I told you guys this is the Zay the Barber technique that I learned, but I added my own twist to it. And as a barber, that's what you wanna do. You know, you wanna try new things, you wanna see what works for you, and then you wanna be continuously learning, continuously trying different ways, exploring different avenues in your haircuts. I have an Andis master. Now we're fading from all the way to the very top, keeping it as dark as possible, and you can see the blend coming together. So what I'm going to do on both sides, the exact same steps. I start with my Andis T outliner trimmers. I'm making that very small guideline. So all I want to do is bald out a small section, but notice how I kept it as dark as possible for the point. I want to make sure I keep that dark. Now I'm going to go with the lever open, then I close it on my 1 guard. And I'm really just a very small transition here. There's not a lot of room to work with. So the key with the low taper is, even though you're balding it out, you still can't bring it high, you know, because it's a low taper. So fading down is what allows me to really keep that darkness. And that's a major key I want to share with you guys. Go ahead and try it. Let me know if it works for you, if it brings you value. Keep enhancing your skills. You know, you guys can learn how to market yourselves, you know, your customer service, how you manage your business, run your business, and you'll see the money just start to flow. Now I go with my Andis Masters. We're doing those same motions, open, halfway, closed. You gotta have that patience though. Like, a lot of these haircuts, they don't come to you in just 30 minutes, you know, of getting it down real quick. As you see, Dre Day Cuts video bombing us. Dre Day Cuts with 2 T's on Instagram. That's my light-skinned brother. We moved in sync at the club. Even though he fell down at the park, we went to the nightclub, and my man, I looked over, everybody's being pushed to the side, and my man was on the floor. So sometimes they get a little too turned and we're not in sync, but that's my brother, Dre Day Cuts. So right here, I'm just doing that polish work. I went ahead and balded him out with the Braun Series 9. And one thing I would say about Braun, you guys gotta make me a nice shaver that's easier to fit in those small areas. So it's great for balding out fades and things, but you saw I kind of struggled to bald it out on the bottom of that taper, but it worked though. And right here I have the Barbersign Productions gold-plated razor holder. I use my Persona blades, the sharpest blades I've really found in my whole career, you know, is the Persona. I used to use Derby, I would buy them in bulk, and I thought it was cool, but then I tried these and I was I was done forever with those. So this is a semi-permanent die with the air compressor, and this thing is a game changer. If you guys want to invest, mine was only $80, and then I bought the dies. This will change your game. I went from using fibers to most of my cuts to just using this, and it's so simple to apply. One thing I will say is, yo, it's open. It's an open lane in this industry. The semi-permanent die lane is growing, right? And you can just see the results that you get. So now I grabbed some curl product, and I'm just gonna moisturize his hair. I'm massaging it all the way in, and then I grab myself, oh, we got the brand new curl sponge. I'm about to break it out, give him those curls, as we talked about, keeping the sideburns, keeping the low taper, keeping those curls on the top. My camera actually died here. Shout out to my brother Dre Day Cuts. He filmed the rest of the video for me. So I got a treat for you guys to show you the real detail. I just wanted to get up close and personal and show you the process it takes, you know. Imagine spending an extra 5 or 10 minutes on your haircuts, what that could do for you. You know, that's gonna make your clients like stand out. They're gonna be like, yo, this guy actually, like, he cares about my cut, that's what's up. And the feeling you get when you find a new barber that's actually taking care of your hair and listening to what you want, it's nothing like it. You know, you're developing your skills, mastering your craft. I just want to help you guys to develop that barber's eye, you know, and create the silhouette, create the shape of the haircut that you want, because it's more than just fading hair. We're actually fading the person's head. So we're looking at their head shape, we're looking at what would work best for them, and then we're just detailing small steps. A haircut is like a million steps that comes out to this great masterpiece at the end. Right here I have the Andis Slimline Pros. I'm just detailing the mustache. He actually likes to keep it pretty sharp, so what we do is start out with the Slimline Pros, but then I go to the razor and I ask him, yo bro, can you pull your mustache down and then to the side? So being able to talk to your clients and, you know, get the best results for what's gonna work to pull the skin and, you know, not really like giving them those razor bumps. Sometimes you gotta say what you gotta say. So I'll be like, bro, pull your lip down, pull it to the side. Let me get the line sharp. And then I grab my Mizutani Shears. I just make sure he's finished off and he's all clean. And guys, this full tutorial is online in the free barber course below. The link is in the description. To those of you guys that are in there already, you will be getting a treat. This video is now being uploaded along with some more tutorials. I just want to help you guys to really reach those goals. If you wrote down any of those 3 goals this year that had to do with becoming a better barber or mastering your craft, that's my goal. I hope to see you guys in there. I hope you subscribe, like the video if it brought you some value. It's Jay Faded, and I'm out.